My name is Kathy Thompson, and I'm pleased to welcome you to the Rewire to Relaunch interview series presented by M in Motion. As part of my own coaching practice, I love to work with ambitious female entrepreneurs and help shine a bright light on the work that they do for people like you. Today, my guest is Aseel Al-Baba from Holistic Optimal Wealth, and I'm excited to find out more about her business. Welcome.
Thank you, Kathy. I'm very excited to be here.
Let's dive right in. So tell us a little bit more about your business and specifically how you help people shift their mindset through the work you do.
Sure. So before I tell you my business, let me tell you the journey because it's a big part to how I landed here. I used to be a financial planner in the corporate world, and I supported clients dealing with the practical sides of money, building strategies for some of their goals, and also addressing some of their debt management, cash flow, investment strategies, and all sorts of different things in that specific conversation. But the more I saw clients, the more I realized there's a lot of emotions involved in this conversation. Obviously, like money is very deeply complex as a topic, and it's a big taboo in our lives. We don't necessarily grow up fully understanding it or talking about it. It's not an area that's explored in our life, and it remains to be this like mystery for a lot of us. So while I enjoyed helping clients with the practical sides, I really was starting to get very interested in the gaps in the conversation, the emotional piece, the psychological piece, the mindset piece, and all these deep layered belief systems and how they impact the behavior, which was strictly superficial. If you just focus on the behavior, it's a very superficial approach to understanding why you do what you do. So I went back to school to become a therapist, pivoting into the mental health space, and in integrating both approaches, I founded my financial therapy practice. Later, I realized that there's actually a Financial Therapy Association in the US, so I became a member of that association. There's only very few of us in Canada. This association started in the US, and the hope is to expand this movement globally as more people start being aware of how mindset and emotions and thoughts really very heavily contribute to the financial outcomes you're experiencing, and how it's very important to acknowledge that and have the professionals that are ready to support you through this exploration phase. So my practice today supports clients in, I say, explore your emotions so you can expand your wealth. And when you manage your emotions, then you can manage your money. So essentially, it's a way for us to dive below the superficial levels of the conversation around money and understand why we do what we do and heal some of the emotional trauma and money traumas that we have. So this is it in a nutshell.
Wow. Definitely a needed service. Like you said, money is so deeply rooted, ingrained. There's so many different emotions tied to money, what we heard growing up about money, what we saw, how we bring those into our adulthood. And I'm sure your clients, you're dealing with that sort of that emotional piece starting off. And so do you do assessments or anything like that sort of to find out their money mindset, or you just start with sort of that one-on-one questions and answers and the therapy piece?
Great question. I offer a complimentary consultation. Often people don't fully understand how financial therapy works. So it's very important to assess if the client is ready, not just financially, but also mentally and emotionally for this work, because it is work. And this is actually part of my disclaimer. Like, part of this journey require courage and time and commitment to make the space for these conversations, because emotions are naturally going to surface. So a complimentary consultation helped me understand where the client is at, but also what their priorities are, what their needs are. And I do have packages that are coaching packages that I sell, but I also offer customized approaches depending on some of the situations I'm dealing with. So it's really depending on what the client's needs are. There are certain assessments that I use, but it's not like one assessment for everybody. It depends on what is it that we're really looking to talk about and resolve here.
I did notice on your website that you offer, it seemed like group coaching also for businesses.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Group therapy actually is one of my
Therapy, excuse me.
favorite things to do because there's so much healing in the shared experience. So
Mm.
I actually have different groups. One of the groups I have is Arab women, which is focused on the Arab women. And the reason this is a unique niche is because it gives you the cultural and the gender layer lens, which helps really shed a lot of light on some of the common struggles in that community. The other group I focus on is entrepreneurs because I'm an entrepreneur myself. And a lot of the times you can't grow your business unless you grow yourself. And there's a lot of sometimes obstacles that we come at personally that impacts our professional and entrepreneurial endeavors. So it's important to also have this understanding of how your personal and professional things are very much intertwined. So that's another group focus I have. And the reason I really appreciate the group therapy approach is because it's based on storytelling, and there's a lot of healing and sharing that comes naturally, but also through listening to other people's vulnerable shares. And I curate the experience that I interview everybody who is accepted into the group to ensure the experience is curated and it's the right fit for everybody who's exploring that, and the people are actually ready to give and receive, because it's a really interesting environment and a sacred space where you're not just receiving coaching on the spot, but you're also holding space and supporting others in that journey. Often between sessions, I offer accountability partners and support homework to allow for deeper introspection and deeper layers of that work. So it's really unique experience for those who are ready for that communal approach to this conversation, because it's a different level for sure. It doesn't mean individual isn't profound, because it absolutely is. It's profound in a different way. Individual therapy allows you to laser focus on certain things in your area and talk about things that you may not necessarily be ready to share in a group setting. So there's different approaches to different people depending on where they're at and what their goals are.
Fantastic. It has been so lovely to meet you, as well as learning about your business. Definitely check it out, Holistic Optimal Wealth. Those of you that are watching this video, contact Aseel. She is going to help you make a lot of money and get over those money hurdles.
It's not necessarily just make a lot of money. It's make peace with
money.
Make improve your relationship with money, whether you have it or not. It's just understanding what it is that you want out of that area in your life and cultivate a healthy relationship with it. That's ultimately the goal.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, me, myself included, you just think, okay, well, if I can solve this relationship, then the money will just flow. But I really love you drawing it back to, no, it's that relationship with money. That's fantastic. Yeah, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to meet you.
My pleasure, Kathy.